Hello and welcome back to Motivation Audio Lab. I'm so glad you could join me today. If you're here, it's likely because you've felt that frustrating pull of the modern world on your attention. You sit down with the best intentions, but a scattered mind keeps you from the meaningful work you want to do. Today's experiment is designed to fix that. We're going to walk through 5 powerful, science-backed hacks to help you achieve a state of deep work and find that unbroken focus you've been looking for. So let's begin. How often does your workday feel like a battle? A battle between what you need to accomplish and the 1,000 tiny things pulling you away. That notification buzz from your phone. That sudden, nagging urge to check your email. That distracting thought about what you need to do later tonight. Each one is a small crack in the dam of your attention, a tiny leak of your precious cognitive energy, until the whole thing breaks and your focus is washed away in a flood of shallow tasks and half-finished thoughts. You end the day feeling busy, but not productive. You feel drained, but not accomplished. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know with absolute certainty that your brain isn't broken. It's not that you lack willpower or that you're lazy. Your brain is simply untrained for the hostile environment of the modern world. Today, we're going to change that. We're not just going to manage distractions. We're going to become the architects of our own attention. The concept of deep work, made popular by the author and Professor Cal Newport, is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's a skill that allows you to quickly master complicated information and produce better results in less time. It is the superpower of the 21st century. Think of your mind as a noisy, chaotic room with doors and windows wide open to the storm outside. We're about to methodically close the windows, lock the doors, and soundproof the walls. Our first hack is the most fundamental. It's about building the very walls of our quiet room. It's called the time block fortress. Many of us operate from a to-do list. The problem with a to-do list is that it's a list of options, not a plan of action. Every time you look at it, your brain has to make a new decision. What should I work on now? What's most important? What do I feel like doing? This process, known as decision fatigue, drains your mental energy before you've even started the real work. The time block fortress is the antidote. Instead of a to-do list, I want you to look at the empty space in your calendar. Find a single, pristine, 60 or 90-minute block. Now, I want you to make an appointment with yourself. In that block, write down the one and only important task you will work on. That's it. During that time, that block is your fortress. No email, no social media, no other tasks are allowed inside its walls. You are treating your deep work with the same respect you would treat a meeting with your boss. The science behind this is simple. Our brains crave clarity and commitment. By giving yourself a specific task, a specific start time, and a specific end time, you eliminate the cognitive load of decision-making. You just execute. I remember a time I was struggling to write a difficult report. It sat on my to-do list for days, a source of constant, low-level anxiety. Finally, I scheduled a 90-minute block in my calendar. Write first draft of report. When the time came, there was no more debate. It was an appointment I had to keep. And in those 90 minutes, I accomplished more than I had in the 3 days of just staring at it on a list. Our second hack is for guarding the gates of that fortress. It's called the digital sunset. It's not enough to just decide to focus. You have to create an environment where focus is possible. Our digital devices are the primary enemies of deep work. Every notification, every ping, every badge is engineered to hijack your brain's dopamine system, creating a cycle of craving and reward. The digital sunset is a conscious ritual to break that cycle. For 15 minutes before your scheduled time block starts, you actively power down your distractions. Turn your phone off. I don't mean on silent. I mean completely off, black screen. Close all unnecessary tabs on your computer. Your email? Closed. Social media? Closed. News sites? Closed. The only thing left open should be the one tool you need for your single task. This act of shutting things down sends a powerful signal to your brain that a fundamental shift is happening. It's a ritual that says, the time for shallow distraction is over. The time for deep focus has begun. Scientists call the effect of switching between tasks attention residue. Even after you've switched away from your email, a part of your brain is still thinking about that last message. The digital sunset cleans the slate. It allows that residue to evaporate, so you can enter your fortress with 100% of your cognitive capacity ready for the task at hand. Now, once you're inside your soundproofed fortress, how do you keep your own mind from trying to escape? This brings us to our third, and perhaps most counterintuitive, hack. It's called the boredom reset. Our brains have become addicted to constant, novel stimulation. The moment we feel even a flicker of boredom waiting for a coffee, standing in line, sitting at a red light, we instinctively reach for our phones for a quick hit of dopamine. We have trained our brains to believe that boredom is a problem that needs to be solved instantly. To build the muscle of focus, we must break this addiction. So, the next time you have a spare 2 minutes, I challenge you to do absolutely nothing. Don't pull out your phone. Don't think about your to-do list. Just be bored. Look out the window. Notice your surroundings. Let your mind wander where it wants to go. By reteaching your brain to be comfortable without constant input, you drastically lower its craving for distraction during your deep work sessions. You are resetting your baseline for stimulation. When your brain isn't expecting a constant fireworks show of novelty, the quiet, focused work of your task becomes less like a chore and more like a relief. Boredom is also the soil from which creativity grows. It's in these quiet, unstructured moments that your brain makes novel connections and solves background problems. If you're finding these ideas helpful, please consider subscribing to Motivation Audio Lab so you don't miss our next experiment. I'd love to hear from you in the comments which distraction is the hardest for you to beat. Fourth, let's talk about starting the engine. It's one thing to have a time block scheduled and a clean environment. It's another to be mentally and physically ready to perform when the clock starts. This is our fourth hack, the ritual ramp up. Your brain is a creature of habit. The part of your brain responsible for habit formation, the basal ganglia, operates on cues. You can use this to your advantage by creating a simple, consistent 2-minute pre-work ritual. This ritual acts as a cue that tells your brain it's time to transition into a state of focus. It could be anything, as long as it's consistent. Perhaps you make a specific cup of tea that you only drink during deep work. Maybe you stretch for 60 seconds by your desk. Or you could listen to the same instrumental song every single time. A writer I know tidies his desk for 3 minutes before he begins. It doesn't matter what the ritual is, only that you do it consistently before every deep work session. It becomes a powerful psychological trigger, a conditioned response. It's like a starting gun for a race. The ritual fires, and your brain knows it's time to focus. This automates the process of getting into the zone, so you don't have to waste precious willpower and motivation on the friction of just getting started. You create a smooth on-ramp to the highway of deep work. Finally, our fifth hack. It's the most physiological of them all. It's about giving your brain the right fuel. It's called the focused fuel. We often treat our minds as if they are separate from our bodies. But your brain is an organ. It is a biological machine that requires a tremendous amount of energy. Trying to do deep work when you are dehydrated or your blood sugar is low is like trying to drive a high-performance race car with no gas in the tank. It simply won't work. Before your session, ensure you've had a large glass of water. Even mild dehydration has been shown in studies to impair cognitive function, memory, and concentration. Have a small, healthy snack nearby. But not just any snack. Sugary snacks will cause a spike and then a crash in your blood sugar, destroying your focus. Instead, choose slow-release energy sources that support brain health. A handful of walnuts or almonds, which are full of healthy fats and omega-3s. Some blueberries, which are packed with antioxidants. It seems almost too simple, but the science is clear. A properly hydrated and fueled brain is a focused brain. You are giving your mind the raw biological materials it needs to perform at its absolute peak. You wouldn't run a marathon without training and nutrition, so don't ask your brain to run a deep work marathon without the proper fuel. So let's recap the 5 science-backed hacks to build your fortress of focus. 1. The time block fortress, to give yourself clarity and commitment. 2. The digital sunset, to create a clean, distraction-free environment. 3. The boredom. Reset, to lower your brain's craving for constant stimulation. 4. The ritual ramp-up, to automate the process of getting into the zone. And 5. The focused fuel, to give your brain the biological energy it needs to perform. Focus is not a talent you are born with. It is a skill you train. It is a muscle that you strengthen. By using these strategies, you are not just working harder. You are working smarter. You are taking back control from the distractions of the world and becoming the master of your own attention. Your one simple action for today is to just pick one of these hacks. Just one. Don't feel overwhelmed, and try to implement it tomorrow. That's your first step. You have the ability to achieve hours of unbroken focus. You just need to create the right conditions for it to flourish. Thank you for spending this time with me in the lab. Remember, building focus is a practice, not a destination. So be kind to yourself as you start. We'll be experimenting with the hidden reasons we procrastinate in our next audio guide. Until then, be well and be present.